Hello, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel Pocket Change Coins. First, we have something truly special to talk about, a coin that might just be sitting in your collection or hiding in your change jar. It's the 1964 US 5 cents coin, better known as the 1964 nickel. While it may seem like just another ordinary coin, let me tell you, it holds the potential to be worth far more than its 5-cent face value. Let's begin by taking a closer look at this coin and what makes it stand out. The 1964 nickel was minted during a time of significant change in U.S. coinage. The 1960s were marked by some important transitions in American currency, and this nickel is part of that story. The coin was minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark, and was part of a regular series of nickels that featured the famous portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse. This iconic design, created by Felix Schlag, has been a constant in U.S. coinage since 1938, but in the 1960s, its production was in full swing. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find Jefferson's home, Monticello, depicted as the central image. This design is a tribute to Jefferson's legacy as a founding father and the third president of the United States. The Monticello building is not only an important historical symbol, but it also adds a sense of tradition and permanence to the design, which is why it's remained unchanged on the reverse of the nickel for decades. Now, let's talk about why the 1964 nickel could be more valuable than you might think. For most people, the 1964 nickel is a coin that doesn't get a second glance. It was mass-produced, and because it was minted in large numbers, it's often seen as a common coin. However, just like with any coin, its value can change drastically depending on its condition and any unique features it may possess. While the 1964 nickel is still in circulation in large quantities, finding one in near-perfect or uncirculated condition is rare. As with all coins, the condition is everything when it comes to determining value. Most 1964 nickels you'll come across are in average condition, with signs of wear, discoloration, and scratches from years of circulation. But when you find one that has been kept in pristine condition, free from wear and tear, it stands out. Coins in uncirculated condition are much rarer, and they often fetch much higher prices than their worn counterparts. That's why collectors are always on the lookout for coins in mint condition. An uncirculated 1964 nickel, free from blemishes and showing no signs of wear, is a truly valuable find, but it doesn't stop there. There's another factor that can skyrocket the value of the 1964 nickel: minting errors. As we've discussed in previous videos, coins with minting errors are highly prized in the numismatic world because they are rare and unique. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the coin's production, leading to a coin with a flaw that makes it stand out from others. These errors could range from something minor like a double strike, where the design appears twice, to more dramatic errors like off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned on the coin. Error coins are among the most sought after in the world of coin collecting because they are one-of-a-kind items that can't be replicated. If you happen to find a 1964 nickel with a minting error, you could have a real treasure on your hands. A small, subtle error could be enough to make this nickel worth significantly more than its regular, uncirculated counterpart. If you find a 1964 nickel with a prominent minting error like a double die or an off-center strike, the value of your coin could increase dramatically. These types of coins are highly collectible and can command a much higher price because of their rarity and uniqueness. Even a small error can make a significant difference in the coin's value, so it's always worth checking your coins carefully for any irregularities. Now, you might be wondering, how much could your 1964 nickel actually be worth? While most of these coins in typical condition are valued at only 5 cents, the value can increase significantly for those in excellent or mint condition. When it comes to rare error coins, the price can go up even further. If you've got an uncirculated 1964 nickel, or even better, one with a minting error, you might be looking at a coin worth a lot more than you'd expect. In fact, depending on the coin's condition, rarity, and whether it has any minting errors, your 1964 nickel could be worth up to $90,000. Yes, that's right, $90,000. It's incredible to think that a simple nickel, produced in the millions, could carry such a high value. So, before you toss that 1964 nickel into a jar or spend it without a second thought, take a moment to examine it carefully. You might just have a rare gem on your hands. Coin collecting is all about knowing what to look for, and this is one of those instances where your attention to detail could pay off in a big way. The world of rare and valuable coins is full of surprises, and sometimes, the most unexpected coins turn out to be worth a fortune. So, keep your eyes peeled for that perfect 1964 nickel or any era varieties, because you could be holding onto a piece of history worth much more than just 5 cents. Second rare coin, we're diving into a fascinating coin that many people overlook but could be worth a significant amount of money. If you've ever come across a 1973 US 5 cents coin, better known as the 1973 nickel, you might have dismissed it as just another ordinary coin. However, this seemingly unremarkable nickel could actually be hiding a treasure that you never expected. Stick around, and I'll tell you why the 1973 nickel might just be worth more than its 5-cent face value. The 1973 US 5 cents coin is part of the ongoing Jefferson Nickel series, which was first introduced in 1938. The 1973 design, just like every other nickel in this series, features the famous portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse. Created by the talented artist Felix Schlag, Jefferson's likeness on the nickel has become one of the most enduring and recognizable images on U.S. currency. On the reverse side of the 1973 nickel, we see the depiction of Jefferson's home, Monticello, which has also been a consistent feature of the Jefferson nickel since its inception. Monticello represents not just Jefferson's legacy but also his contributions to the history of the United States. The building is an architectural masterpiece, symbolizing the ideal of freedom and democracy that Jefferson himself championed. At first glance, the 1973 nickel may seem like just another everyday coin. However, what many people don't realize is that even a modern coin like this one can be worth much more than its face value, depending on several key factors. These factors include the condition of the coin, the rarity of its minting, and whether or not it has any unique features that make it stand out from the rest. Let's talk about the most important factor when it comes to determining the value of any coin: condition. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are much rarer than those that have been through years of daily use. The 1973 nickel, like many other coins, was minted in large quantities and circulated widely. So, finding one in excellent condition can be quite a rare event. If you come across a 1973 nickel that is free from wear, scratches, and discoloration, that coin could be worth significantly more than a well-worn one. An uncirculated 1973 nickel, especially one that has been carefully preserved in a coin holder or stored in a protective case, could fetch a much higher price among collectors. Mint condition coins are always in high demand because they are more difficult to find, making them a valuable asset to any collection. But there's even more to consider: errors. One of the things that make coin collecting so exciting is the possibility of finding a coin with a minting error. Minting errors are mistakes that occur during the production of the coin, making it a one-of-a-kind piece. These errors can range from minor misprints to major flaws, and some of them can make a coin incredibly rare and valuable. Imagine discovering that your 1973 nickel has a double die, where the image is struck multiple times in slightly different positions, giving the appearance of a doubled design. This kind of error can drastically increase the value of the coin, turning a regular nickel into a collector's dream. Other errors could include off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned on the coin, or even the presence of strange and unusual marks that didn't belong during the minting process. These types of coins, though rare, can bring in a significant amount of money at auctions or among collectors looking for a unique addition to their collection. If you happen to come across a 1973 nickel with any sort of minting error, it's important to examine it closely and get it appraised. Minting errors can make the coin worth a lot more than its standard market price. Coins with such flaws are always in high demand because they are so hard to find and often considered rare, making them incredibly valuable to the right buyer. So, how much could a 1973 nickel really be worth? Well, that depends on the coin's condition, the presence of any minting errors, and its overall rarity. In the case of a 1973 nickel that's in exceptional condition or has an incredible minting error, you could be looking at a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. If you happen to have a well-preserved 1973 nickel, or perhaps one with a significant minting error, your coin could potentially be worth as much as $44,000. Yes, that's right, $44,000 for a single nickel. It's incredible to think that a coin that was once worth just 5 cents could now fetch such a hefty price. So, if you've been holding on to any 1973 nickels, or if you come across one in your daily transactions, make sure to take a closer look. You might just be holding a rare and valuable piece of US history. It's amazing how the world of coin collecting works. Sometimes the most unassuming coins can hold enormous value, and the thrill of discovering a hidden treasure is what makes this hobby so exciting. So, don't just throw away that 1973 nickel you find in your change jar. You could be looking at a coin worth far more than you ever imagined. As always, make sure to carefully examine any coin you find. The condition, rarity, and potential minting errors all play a significant role in determining the value of a coin. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, there's always the possibility that a coin you own could turn into a rare treasure worth thousands of dollars. Third expensive coin, we're going to take a deep dive into a coin that many of you may have in your collection or might have come across in your change, the 1974 US 5 cents coin, better known as the 1974 nickel. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a regular nickel, but trust me, there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. Let's start by taking a closer look at the history of this coin. The 1974 nickel is part of the Jefferson Nickel series, which has been a staple in U.S. coinage since 1938. On the obverse side, you'll find the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, designed by artist Felix Schlag. Jefferson's likeness has been gracing the nickel for decades and is one of the most recognizable faces in U.S. coinage history, but that's not all. The reverse of the coin is where things start to get interesting. The reverse side features a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's famous plantation and home in Virginia. This design has been a constant on the Jefferson nickel since its introduction and symbolizes Jefferson's contributions to the country and his ideals of freedom and democracy. Monticello, with its iconic architecture, stands as a reminder of the nation's history and the vision of one of its founding fathers. Now, let's talk about why this 1974 nickel is more valuable than you might think. On the surface, it might just look like another common coin, but there are several key factors that can make this nickel worth a lot more than its 5-cent face value. The primary factors influencing the value of any coin are its condition and rarity. Coins that have been well preserved and show little to no wear are much rarer than those that have been circulated for decades. The 1974 nickel, like most coins of the era, was minted in large quantities. The U.S. Mint produced millions of these nickels to keep up with the demand for coinage. This means that finding a 1974 nickel in perfect or near-perfect condition is relatively uncommon. When a coin is in pristine, uncirculated condition, it becomes a highly sought-after item for collectors. If you come across a 1974 nickel that shows no signs of wear or tarnishing, it could be worth significantly more than the standard value. However, there's another exciting possibility that can make this coin even more valuable: minting errors. For those of you who are new to the world of coin collecting, minting errors are defects that occur during the coin production process. These errors can result in coins that have unique or unusual characteristics that make them stand out from the rest. Minting errors can range from minor imperfections to major flaws, and the rarer the error, the higher the potential value of the coin. Imagine coming across a 1974 nickel that has a double die, a type of minting error where the design appears to be struck multiple times in slightly different positions. This kind of error can make the coin highly desirable, as it's a rare and unique variation. Other possible minting errors could include off-center strikes, where the image on the coin is misaligned, or even planchet errors, where the metal used to create the coin is flawed. These types of errors are extremely valuable because they're one of a kind, making them an essential part of a coin collection. So, how much could your 1974 nickel be worth? Well, if you happen to have one in uncirculated condition or if you've discovered a rare minting error, you could be holding a coin worth far more than 5 cents. The value of a 1974 nickel can range depending on its condition, rarity, and any unique features it may possess. But for an uncirculated coin or one with a significant minting error, the value can reach astonishing heights. If you find that your 1974 nickel is in top condition or has an amazing minting error, you could be looking at a coin worth up to $50,000. Yes, that's right, $50,000 for a single nickel. It's hard to believe that something so small could carry such a large value, but that's the magic of the coin world. Sometimes, the most unassuming coins can end up being worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. So, before you dismiss that 1974 nickel in your pocket change or your coin collection, take a closer look. You might just be holding onto a valuable treasure. Remember, coin collecting is all about knowing what to look for. The condition of the coin, the rarity of the minting error, and the overall demand for certain coins all play a major role in determining their value. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting to explore the world of rare coins, there's always the potential for a hidden gem to pop up when you least expect it. Now, we're going to be talking about a coin that might seem pretty common at first glance, but it has a story to tell that could lead to an unexpected windfall. Yes, I'm talking about the 1989 US 5-cent coin, or more commonly known as the 1989 nickel. Now, this may not be the first coin you think of when you imagine valuable numismatic finds, but stick with me, and I'll show you why this particular nickel could be worth far more than its face value. The 1989 nickel belongs to the Jefferson Nickel series, which has been in circulation since 1938. As with all coins in this series, the obverse side features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Jefferson's likeness was designed by artist Felix Schlag, and it's one of the most recognizable images on U.S. currency. The reverse of the 1989 nickel features Monticello, Jefferson's famous home in Virginia, which symbolizes not just the man himself but also his vision for the country. This architectural marvel has graced the reverse side of the nickel since the series began, representing Jefferson's legacy and his deep connection to the land and ideals he fought for. Now, let's move beyond the basics of the design and talk about what makes the 1989 nickel stand out. Most people would see this coin in their pocket change and never think twice about its value. After all, it's just a nickel, right? But as any seasoned coin collector will tell you, it's not always about the coin's face value, it's about its condition, rarity, and sometimes, its unique characteristics that set it apart from other coins. The first factor that determines how much a coin is worth is its condition. The 1989 nickel, like other coins in circulation, was minted in large numbers and used widely. Coins that have been in circulation for decades, like this one, often show signs of wear. The edges can be worn down, the design may fade, and the coin can pick up scratches or discoloration. Coins in poor condition, though still valuable to some collectors, are generally worth less than those in pristine or uncirculated condition. If you happen to find a 1989 nickel that is in excellent condition, with sharp details and minimal wear, that coin could be worth significantly more than the 5-cent face value. Coins that are in uncirculated condition or near perfect condition are rare, which makes them highly sought after. So, next time you come across a 1989 nickel, take a closer look. If it's free from any noticeable damage and the design is still crisp and clear, you might have a much more valuable coin on your hands, but condition isn't the only factor that could make your 1989 nickel a valuable find. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for errors, minting mistakes that occur during the coin's production. These errors can make a coin incredibly rare and valuable. The beauty of minting errors is that they often produce one-of-a-kind coins, making them extremely desirable to collectors. There are various types of minting errors that could make a 1989 nickel worth a fortune. For example, a double die error is one of the most sought-after mistakes. This happens when the coin is struck twice by the dies, creating a double image. You could find a 1989 nickel where Jefferson's portrait, or perhaps the date, is doubled, which can make the coin a truly rare and valuable piece. Other possible errors could include off-center strikes, where the design doesn't align properly on the coin, or planchet errors, where the metal used for the coin was imperfect, causing strange indentations or distortions. If you happen to find a 1989 nickel with a minting error, especially one as rare and noticeable as a double die or an off-center strike, your coin could skyrocket in value. In fact, depending on the error and condition, it could become a collector's prize and fetch a high price at auctions or from interested buyers. Now, you might be wondering just how much a 1989 nickel could be worth if it's in perfect condition or has one of these rare errors. Well, I'll tell you right now. A 1989 nickel in outstanding condition, or with a significant minting error, can be worth an impressive amount of money. If you're lucky enough to have such a coin in your collection, it could potentially be worth up to $84,000, that's right, $84,000 for a single nickel. It's hard to believe, but coins with rare minting errors or exceptional quality can bring in incredible amounts of money. So, if you find a 1989 nickel that looks almost brand new or you notice something unusual about it, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look and consider having it appraised. You might be holding onto a small fortune. As with any coin collection, it's all about knowing what to look for. The key to success is understanding that even coins that seem ordinary at first glance can sometimes have extraordinary value. Whether it's the condition, the rarity of a minting error, or simply the fact that it's a unique piece, the world of coin collecting is filled with hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. So, if you've got a stash of old coins or have come across a 1989 nickel in your daily transactions, make sure you don't overlook it. You could be holding onto something far more valuable than you think. Thanks for joining me on this coin discovery adventure. If you enjoyed learning about the 1989 nickel and want to stay updated on more valuable coin finds, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an exciting new video. Until next time, happy collecting.